and people are investigating each other. Then Brigadier Julius started Mkhwanazi and stated to her, "Ma'am, we have got no chief of police here. I don't respect this man. I don't know whether I must salute him or not." He went on saying that he came to my office and waited for me for 8 hours. I did not attend to him. But all those are in those minutes which were taken by Spies. From there, he indicated certain individuals. He said, "Commissioner Spies, he is a de facto chief of police in my department. Mr. Brig Nciza is also one of the de facto chief in my department." He mentioned the staff officer, that is Ivan du Plessis, who gives instruction in the department. He mentioned Kilebogile Tepa, who is our media officer. At the end of the meeting, while other directors or brigadiers, they made their comments that, no, we're having challenges of uniform, petty other issues. But once the meeting was concluded, she then said, "Regardless of all what I've listened here, I'm sending you on special leave with immediate effect for 30 days. That was on the 17th of August.
And you say, at what, it was at the time she told you she's sending on special leave for 30 days, she stated that so that you can clear your head, rest, and come back neutral with no bias. It came at the end of that meeting you're suggesting.
She did not state that on the 17th of August. This was stated a day later. I think the letter I've received of special leave, it was on the 18th, the following day.
Okay.
Here she concluded that she is sending me on special leave with immediate effect in front of my subordinate, which I was so embarrassed. I have got protectors. Immediately when we leave the meeting, some junior members of mine, especially Brigadier Mkhwanazi, called and said, "No, those protectors must be taken away." So
okay.
It was done right in the mid when we concluded that meeting. At the conclusion of that meeting, Brigadier Mkhwanazi circulated a WhatsApp to subordinate or officers of Metro Police that the chief of police has been sent on special leave. Now the person who will be acting, it will be Deputy Chief Mzolo and the city manager. Now it's time that we must pick up the pieces and address the stature. That was his WhatsApp to EMPD officials.
As you say, it's not a WhatsApp you received.
I came across that WhatsApp, the one he has sent to officers after that meeting.
Do you have a copy of that WhatsApp? Were you able to lay your hands on it even thereafter?
I've got a copy of that WhatsApp because I even sent that WhatsApp back to my boss, the city manager, that this to me was uncalled for, that officers can disrespect me in her presence, right in front of her presence, and even the power to send messages to my subordinate, all officers in the city.
Okay. All right. So then, as of the 17th of August, or a day later, you were on special leave.
That is correct, I see.
Sorry, Mr. Lo, maybe before you proceed,
yes.
Just one question. In that meeting of the 17th, where you say Brigadier Mkhwanazi said he doesn't even know whether he should salute you, we don't have a chief of police, did the city manager reprimand him? or say anything that sounded like a reprimand to what on the face of it appears like gross insubordination?
Commissioner, that was my concern. He was never reprimanded in front of my juniors as well. And those minutes we took, I think we managed to forward them to the office of the SC, but he was not reprimanded.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Sorry, maybe another question, sorry. It's one paragraph back where you take this letter, paragraph 104, where you are taking this letter of demand of intent to institute proceedings at paragraph 104. You say you take it to the city manager, and this is where he says you've got something personal against Brigadier Mkhwanazi. Did the city manager dispute that the people in the picture, you say there were pictures, did she dispute that those people report to Brigadier Mkhwanazi?
She did not dispute that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. You make conclusions in paragraph 106 after you have narrated all that transpired prior to and on the day of your being placed on special leave. So could you deal with paragraphs 106 and 107?
Paragraph 106 on page 29, there was a clear and deliberate decision by the city manager and the HOD, HR, not to prosecute Brigadier Mkhwanazi for these transgressions. On the contrary, concerted efforts to protect him were made. On 107, Advocate Bihare, as HOD Legal Services, appointed a firm to conduct an investigation into whistleblower allegations made against inter alia Brigadier Mkhwanazi, which were published in the press. Advocate Bihare appointed an entity called the forensic firm to conduct this investigation. The investigation report dated 20 June 2024 is attached, Mark J.M. 34.
In light of the fact that another witness will come deal in more detail with the detail of that report, may I suggest that we don't deal with what you state from 108 to 110, because you do reference the paragraph numbers in the report. And when the right witness comes, they will cover that part of your evidence, or the evidence you would have tendered otherwise in their absence. Is that acceptable to you?
Thank you, SC. I appreciate that.
That would take us to your paragraph 111 at page 30. If you could read that into the record.
On page 30, 111, as a result, to date, the IPID recommendation that Brigadier Mkhwanazi be disciplined has not been given effect to.
As a matter of interest, what's your understanding? You receive an IPID report with a recommendation. In this case, institute disciplinary proceedings against a specific member of the service. Who is to give effect to that recommendation in the context of the EMPD? Would it be yourself? Would it be his direct superior, the city manager, employee relations? Are you able to assist us with that?
Could I please request and correct myself on page 30, 111?
Yes.
Because the statement there states that as a result, to date, the IPID recommendation that Brigadier Mkhwanazi be disciplined has not been given effect to. I think the word to date, it might be incorrect for me because I'm not at work.
Okay.
So My last time when I left work was on the 25th of September 2024. So I do not know what then happened from the 25th of September.
That's an important correction. You are correct, and I appreciate that.
Is it fair to say subsequent to the IPID report, Brigadier Mkhwanazi was in fact promoted to the position of Deputy Chief of Police? Because when the IPID report was sent to you, he was not Deputy Chief of Police. He became Chief of Police in December of 2023, which is a month or two after you received the IPID report.
That is correct, Commissioner. But can I please respond to the question? Could I get it very clear from the SC again?
Yes, sir.
The one I've disturbed you whilst you were asking?
No. We'll revert Commissioner Khumalo. I had said the correction you are making to your statement is very important, and it's noted, Julie, and it's on the record. Your statement had read, as a result, to date, the IPID recommendation that Brigadier Mkhwanazi be disciplined has not been given effect to. You wanted to highlight that you cannot really speak about what transpired since your day of suspension. So you can't use the term to date, because it could have been instituted after the 24th of September 2024, which is your suspension date.
That is correct.
We have corrected that, and the record will show that correction, that what you intend to express is that as a result, until September 25th September 2024, which is your date of suspension, the IPID recommendation that Brigadier Mkhwanazi be disciplined had not been given effect to. That's as far as you can take it.
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you. Now, what Commissioner Khumalo highlights to you, makes a comment that it would appear that at least up until your date of suspension, not only were the recommendations not given effect to, in fact, Brigadier Mkhwanazi was promoted to Deputy Chief. That's what he wanted to engage you on. And he stated that because as at the date of the IPID report being served on EMPD, he was still in his previous position, and he was not a deputy chief. This was prior to December, the 1st of December 2023, which you say is the date that you learn he was sort of made deputy chief. Is that correct?
He was appointed on the 1st of December 2023. That's correct.
And by then, the IPID report was in hand. It had been served. Or that is the date you are struggling with, huh?
I know that the IPID report was there already.
Yes, and that is the point that
Yes.
the commissioner is making.
Yes.
So he's saying not only was the IPID recommendation not acted upon, at least, and he wanted to invite your comment on that. Do you agree with that statement?
I agree with that statement that
Okay.
when I came back after my 30 days, that was in 2023, then Brigadier Mkhwanazi was then appointed on the 1st of December 2023
Okay,
as a deputy chief.
thank you. Chair.
Chief Mapiyeye, now that we are at this point, let me raise with you, but I do not know if you'll be able to assist, issues relating to documents that we're going to ask for right at the end. Are you aware of any letter of appointment which promoted Brigadier Mkhwanazi? Or
Commissioner,
in terms of which Brigadier Mkhwanazi was promoted? A letter, something written.
Commissioner, I've indicated earlier that I haven't seen that appointment letter.
then perhaps, in fact, what I was saying we were going to raise right at the end would have been directed more to you than to the chief, Ms. Sillo. That is, maybe let me just raise all of them at this stage.
Perhaps, may I respond to this one?
Yes,
Because
yes.
my response to whatever the documents you raise might differ. I do confirm that I think in his testimony, Chief Mapiyeye indicated that he's never seen such a letter. Our undertaking is we will go back to our witnesses to determine firstly whether such letter exists, and secondly to find the right witness through whom to introduce that document. Thank you.
Thank you. And also correspondence relating to Brigadier Mkhwanazi's vetting or lack thereof, please.
Correspondence relating to Advocate Mkhwanazi's vetting.
Brigadier. Yes. With that too, you'll see who to introduce it, or rather, who the witness to introduce it should be. And then the files relating to the disciplinary processes, relating to the employees, I think it was 2, who were terminated but later re-employed. We would like to see that as well.
Chair, perhaps it's the end of the week and it's been a long week. Could the chair assist in identifying?
Yes. There were 2, I hope I'm correct with the number, 2 officers, EMPD officers, who were subjected to DC processes and terminated, but who were later re-employed.
Can I just check with the witness, because
Yes.
the 2, I understand, were on suspension, and then they were brought back. And
From
the
suspension.
witness from
Yes.
suspension, and the witness said they were allocated to different functions, but it was instead insisted that they go back to their substantive positions. So I don't know if those are the 2 witnesses we're talking about, or whether, or those are the ones.
Yes, those are the ones.
Okay.
Yes.
Then,
I just pray that the files are not too bulky, but we just want to get an idea of what happened there.
Yes, there is a witness to speak to that. We'll just have to ensure that they produce the right documents. Yes, Chair.
Thank you.
Ms. Lo, perhaps we may want to correct, you can decide how you put it to the chief. You have, I think, following on Commissioner Kumalo's last question, it was put as a fact that Brigadier Mkhwanazi was promoted on the 1st of December. I've lost that paragraph here, but what the witness said was that he next saw Brigadier Mkhwanazi the first week of December, and this time he was wearing the insignia. I think that's what it was called.
Yes.
That's all he says. He didn't say that he was promoted on the 1st of December. And to the extent that the proposition that is being made is that he was promoted following a date after the IPID report, which is not acted upon, I think
So, Commissioner, if I may refer you to paragraph 24 of the statement at page 8.
Okay.
That's where Chief Mapiyeye says, on 1st December 23, Brigadier Mkhwanazi was purportedly appointed to Deputy Chief. So he states that. Read with paragraph 68. So he did indicate that he does not have the letter appointing him to that position. At 68, he then says, I next saw him, I think, during the first week of December.
Okay, maybe then let me ask the question.
Yes.
Let me ask the chief the question. Chief Mapiyeye, do you know as a fact that Brigadier Mkhwanazi was promoted on the 1st of December? As a matter of fact, you know that?
I cannot confirm that because I didn't see the letter appointing him that as from the first. As I've earlier indicated as well, the letter I wrote to the HOD Human Resource. On the first week of December, it's when I saw him wearing the rank of a deputy chief of police.
And when you earlier said he was appointed on the 1st, and where you say purportedly on the 1st of December, are you saying that because in that first week you saw him dressed the way that you say, or is there another reason why you say the 1st of December?
Prior to that, this information will be with the next witness, which is Commissioner Spies, because he is running the auxiliary and support services of Metropolis. I'm told that Julius went there just before the 1st to demand the rank from the staff who are dealing with those assets. And they refused to give him, they wanted a letter. But Space has got all these facts. It seems the letter he finally produced it, which came from the office of the city manager. So, but I did not also see that letter.
Okay, so Commissioner Spies is the right person to speak to.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner's Chair. If I may, to the documents we called upon to produce, so we don't bring the wrong documents. The third lot, if I understood the Chair correctly, is a request for files relating to the 2 employees who were terminated and re-employed. May I refer us to paragraph 86 of the statement? And 86. In a bid to understand whether it is in respect of those employees that the documents are required or something else. At 86, Chief Mapiyeye states, as Commissioner Spies will elaborate further during his testimony, the disciplinary process is initiated against them. Those were the members implicated in the criminal conduct. They were continuously frustrated internally. No, there were continuous frustrations internally or intention to frustrate the process. And they, meaning the 2 employees, were reassigned to their substantive positions and their service weapons restored to them.
Yes.
My check is that where the query comes from?
That's yes.
Okay.
But it seems perhaps that the reference to termination was erroneous. Yes.
So then, insofar that it's not termination, but that is what the documents are interested to address, as the witnesses, the next witness, Commissioner Spies, will address them himself to that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
We've taken note of the rest of the request and we will deal with it. Thank you, Chair. You very briefly, in your last chapter, deal with what you call the laying of trumped up charges against you. And by briefly, I mean you very briefly, you don't, besides indicating that you were suspended on the 25th September 2024 on bogus claims that you had sexually harassed a fellow officer, and you attach as JM35 a copy of that suspension letter, you do not deal with the content really of the charges, and I'm not inviting you to necessarily. I want you to make then just your brief concluding remarks about this so-called, what you call trumped up charges. You talk about where the process is, what the next step is, and what you understand has subsequently transpired. That you do from paragraph 113 at page 30.
SC, are you saying I must just conclude, I must just concentrate on page 31?
Yeah,
On
we
the
are now
co- on the
at page
conclusion.
30. We are now at page 30. I've said you have introduced your suspension letter, and you have indicated that you sexually harassed a fellow officer. Is that correct?
That is correct, SC.
So I'm inviting you to deal with the contents of your statement from paragraph 113. And I highlight that besides telling us that you were suspended and you have given us the letter of suspension, which reflects these charges, you don't engage with the charges any further in the statement. And I'm not inviting you to do so now. I just want you to deal with the contents of 113 to 115. You may read them, you may summarize what you have set out therein, whatever works best for you.
On page 30, laying of trumped up of charges against me, paragraph number 112, I was suspended on the 25th of September 2024 on bogus claims that I had sexually harassed a fellow officer. I attached Annexure MJ 35, that was my charge sheet or the letter of suspension. The leading of evidence has concluded in this matter, and the heads of argument have been filed during October 2025. Arguments is set down for the 14th of November 2025. To my knowledge, my suspension and subsequent disciplinary prosecution was never approved by council, which appointed me. Since my suspension, various other employees have been suspended and have faced disciplinary proceedings instituted against them. Some have been dismissed. One thing in common these employees have is that they dare to challenge decision by or unduly favored Brigadier Nciza. In conclusion, the situation that has been permitted to develop in Ekurhuleni and within some units in EMPD, in particular, disconcerting and the demand immediate intervention. Rather than provide protection to the citizens of Ekurhuleni, some of the EMPD members have become a source of danger to these citizens. I trust that the Commission's recommendation will assist the EMPD in addressing some of the challenges I have highlighted in this statement. As you indicated it has to be on a high level. I need to do that, the high level, because immediately when I was placed on...
Apologies, may I understand what needs to be at a high level, Chief?
I wanted to highlight that immediately when I was placed on suspension,
yes,
my status of life and the risk which I am.
You may address yourself to the commissioners.
I do not know, seated here, SC, that would I have that opportunity to conclude.
I'm inviting you to. I just wanted to understand what it is you wanted to give a high level comment on. But thank you.
SC and the Commission, I'm still an employee of the city of Ekurhuleni, being the Chief of Police. I have served this city for 42 years. I have created enemies, not only in Ekurhuleni, around the country, by arresting serious, hardened criminals. But immediately when I was suspended, my protection was taken away. Meanwhile, there is a report which IPID and the relevant department have done risk assessment around my life. My protection was taken away, firearms were taken away, without any protection currently. Meanwhile, I'm still the employee of the city. Whilst the employee who alleges sexual harassment has been given protection, being protected by the city, given officers, plus additionally outside security members. That security is even extended to even the family members. Some of these other employees who were targeted, whom I've mentioned here, in the case itself, they were not even considered for any security issues. Lastly, Commissioner, I'm not going...
Before you move on, should your focus not more be on your own security? I'm asking this because I'm not sure to what extent you are aware of the threat and risk assessment that was done, if it was done, in respect of the employee.
I must look at my space. That is what I've addressed with regard to my security. Whilst there was a report which detailed my threat assessment, so all that protection was taken away from me.
There was something else you wanted to say. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I think, Commissioners, I will stop at that because I don't want to talk about other people. I must talk about myself, my space, and the risk I'm subjected at, and my family. That is the space I'm concerned about, including my health status. I am at home for the past 12 months and 2 months, I think a year and 2 months. With these challenges I'm seated with, they impact very negatively to my health status and my family at large.
Thank you very much, Chief Mapiyeye. I'm glad that you had the opportunity to explain to the commissioners your personal situation. Chair, that brings us to the conclusion of the testimony of Chief Mapiyeye, unless there are questions that you...
Thank you, Ms. Solo.
Well, I think on the back of what you've just said now, perhaps it's appropriate to ask the question. As at the date of your suspension in 2024, was Brigadier Mkhwanazi still at work?
When my memory serves me well, Commissioners, he immediately took over as the acting chief of police.
And do you have any knowledge today, as you sit there, whether he is at work or on suspension?
All what I've learned, Commissioners, immediately I think he acted as a chief of police. Later on, he acted as the head of community safety. Though I could pick that up, I'm not at work. He acted as the head of community safety, alternating between the two. Up until recently, when I saw on the national TV, when they were saying they're interviewing the acting chief of police, I think last month, acting chief of police, Mkhwanazi.
So as at the date of your suspension at least, he was not on suspension, notwithstanding these serious allegations against him?
That is correct, Commissioners. He was not on suspension.
All right. And then just to go back to that last letter, your letter of suspension, maybe it is important, I thought, Ms. Silo, as a starting point to...
Yes, Commissioner.
to place on record that the letter at page 3 thereof, I think it's marked 12, it indicates, for what it's worth, it indicates that it is signed by the acting city manager, Mr. Chididzi Tenga. You see that?
That is correct,
confirm
Commissioner.
that, yes, so it's not signed by Dr. Mashazi.
That is correct, Commissioner. I remember very well.
All right. And then go to page 1 of that same letter. In light of,
I apologize. Chief, please refer to your big file. Commissioner Baloyi is inviting you to. That is at page 228 of the big file.
it's JM 35,
Yes.
very last document, Chief.
228. The last document in that file. Have you located it?
I've got it, I see.
Okay. Then Commissioner Baloyi would like to engage you on that letter.
All right. So at the very first page, and what I'm going to put to you arises from your statement, and you don't need to go there. I'll read it. It's a very short thing in your statement. At paragraph 114 of your statement, you say, to my knowledge, my suspension and subsequent disciplinary prosecution was never approved by council which appointed me. You remember you said that?
That is correct. Yes,
Okay.
I see.
I just wanted you to point out at least something about council. In the first page of your letter of suspension, the very first paragraph, it says, on